Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're continuing Rick9G's third annual Halloween special where we're focusing on movie sequels as well as all Halloween content. So thank you for joining me. If you haven't seen my previous video on the remake or the sequel to Invasion of the Body Snatchers as well as other videos, make sure to check the top link in the description as well as my Halloween playlist so you can see all the videos, even of past years, so you don't miss out at all. Today we're going to be looking at one of the premier classics of Universal, The Invisible Man. But this is the sequel, so it's The Invisible Man Returns. Now I'll tell you all about it and why it was essentially a complete disaster when they were trying to film this movie. It's a lot, but we'll get right into it. I mean, if you haven't seen this, you should really check it out. First of all, The Invisible Man, the original, I've already covered it, starring Claude Rains. A great film. But this one, instead of Claude Rains as the quote-unquote Invisible Man, we have another character played by another actor, Vincent Price. I mean, Vincent Price as the Invisible Man, this was one of his first roles. It was back in 1940. The movie is about 90 minutes, so it's not that long, and they have really great actors in this one, not just Vincent Price himself. We have the amazing and famous Sir Cedric Hardwicke. We also have Cecil Calloway, who was actually in The Twilight Zone, playing Mr. Wickwire, as well as Alan Napier. Yeah, Alfred from the 1960s Batman series. He almost looks unrecognizable. Yes, tall and lanky, but he looks so much different. Over 20 years before he starred as Alfred in the movie, as well as other actors. It's a great movie, and you should really check it out. I think it's really underrated. Vincent Price plays the Invisible Man. The real guy's name is Jeffrey Radcliffe. Now, he's framed for the murder of his brother, and he's scheduled to hang. However, there is a visit from his friend, Dr. Frank Griffin, and he vanishes mysteriously from prison. Now, the police inspector Sampson realizes that Griffin is the brother of the original Invisible Man. That is the man from the original movie, The Invisible Man, the character. And he's given Jeffrey the formula to help in his escape. Now, we all are on the edge of our seats because this isn't, yes, it is, I mean, a lot of us categorize it as a horror film, but it's really a light drama. And it's actually fairly interesting with some funny moments in it. It's fairly entertaining. So if you're like scared away and think that this is, oh my goodness, a lot of horror and super scary, give it a watch because it is not what you think. Now, can the Vincent Price character, Jeffrey, elude the police who is searching for him? They're trying to track him down and find the real murderer. Well, we can also see that Griffin discovers an antidote before the invisibility formula drives Jeffrey insane, because we are led to believe that that formula does drive the person who takes it insane. It's one of the major side effects. It's great to see that the special effects have advanced, and you actually don't see Vincent Price, his face, up until about the end of the movie when he finally essentially appears. But other than that, you see him all bandaged up, and that's really him. You can tell him from his tall, lengthy figure. But other than that, it's great to see him, hear his voice. He doesn't even really sound like the Vincent Price we know because it was so early on, and his voice didn't really have that iconic intonation that he later had when he got a bit older. But yeah, you can tell it's him, but sometimes, not so much. Now, there's a lot of really cool things, including how the director uses darkness and light in a very special way to make the camera follow the character, and it seems a little bit more dramatic. There are a lot of special effects that they use. Remember, this is 1940, so this is pretty early on. The director of this film was Joe May. A very simple name, but you may be surprised to know that this man, Joe May, did not know any English. We're going to come back to this in a little bit. However, he had a bad reputation for being very dictatorial, and he absolutely refused to learn the English language. And he worked for Universal, but they did want him to make the film. And many would say that working with him was very difficult, especially during the making of this movie. Even Vincent Price said so. He said that he was very difficult to work with, especially and mainly because he didn't speak English. Now, the director would try and give directions to everyone, including Vincent Price, and Vincent Price would say, "For God's sake, Joe, just tell me in German," because actually Vincent Price knew fluent German. And he continued on, "Because I can get along better with you in German than I can in English." And apparently, from reports, no one in the cast knew what he was talking about. They didn't understand what he was trying to say. So Vincent Price served as the interpreter, the de facto, just, "Hey, I'm here. I happen to know German. Let's just make this film right. And so I'll tell you what he's saying." And he did work hard to make sure that Joe May's thoughts came through. And let me tell you, I don't know how many people would agree with me. I know it may be a little bit controversial, but I actually like this film slightly more than the first one. Yes, first one is iconic. Yes. Claude Rains is amazing and iconic. Yes. But I like this film more. I connected more with the character that was Vincent Price, as well as his portrayal. I liked his portrayal a little bit more. I think it was well suited for him. It was better suited for Vincent Price than Claude Rains. But those are my thoughts. That's what I want to hear from you, your thoughts. Have you seen this movie? If you haven't, you should really check this out. Give it a try. I know that some people really enjoy this film, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, as well as check out my other Halloween content. And what do you think about this? What do you think of the fact that Vincent Price essentially ran this film? I mean, he ran this film trying to make it as smooth as possible. Imagine being hired for this and saying, "Oh no, I have to do my best to make this film work." Love to read your thoughts down below. Thanks for your support. And most importantly, everyone, don't forget, no matter what you're going through, what struggles, always remember to be hopeful. A really big thank you to all my Diamond tier patrons: Jerry D, Stacy L, Scott R, Citizen Kane 359, Jennifer P, David D, Kevin K, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list or receive exclusives as a great way to support the channel, visit my Patreon description below. Thank you.